Adam.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Transformation Roundtable broadcast. My name is Adam. I'm one of the hosts and admin of the group, and I want to introduce my fellow admin and co-hosts, Mr. Gary and Miss Heather, who's is master control. So give them a hello.
Hi,
How's it going?
everybody.
How's it going? How's it going, guys?
Hey, doing well.
Good
Awesome.
week. Good week.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's
So
been a great week.
we appreciate everyone joining the show and broadcast. I'm gonna hand it over to my brother Gary, and he'll give us some shout outs.
Oh, absolutely. And I want to give a special shout out to the admins of the different groups, the DDPY group, the main DDPY group, the DDPY support group, and also the DDPY members only group. All the different admins there have given us permission to go ahead and post the videos on after we're finished here. The live version we can only do in this particular group where everyone can participate, but afterwards we're going to go ahead and post them there. But yeah, and then next week we have both Vance Hines and Chase Green are going to be on, and we're going to be, we're going to talk about all that stuff. But basically, just what it takes to be successful at doing this. But for today, let's go ahead and bring on today's guest because that's who everyone wants to see anyway.
Hey, Gary,
And
let me interrupt real quick. We
did I
already
forget
are
something?
getting comments, believe it or not.
Awesome.
Guys, your comments are not coming up with your name. So please, you can do it during the broadcast. Up in the announcements, there is a thing about comments on Facebook. It's real quick and simple. You're going to click a link. You're going to follow the instructions. It'll allow your comments to be posted so that we can share them. And thank you. I got to see who this is. Rod, thank you so much. Rod has given us permission to also post on DDPY Down Under. So, Rod, we love you for that.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
My brother Rod, appreciate you.
Go get those comments fixed. And Gary, introduce our guest. I am going to be dropping back into the background for this one today, guys.
Okay, and without any further ado, let's go ahead and bring up Kristin. Kristin Nava. I should use the last name as well, but let's go ahead and bring up Kristin, and she's going to go ahead and tell us her DDPY, or actually her story in general, and then what she does with it.
Hey, Adam. Hey, Gary. How are
Hi,
y'all?
Kristin. It's good to
How
have
are
you
you
on.
doing?
We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super
Oh,
pumped to be here.
I've been looking forward to this.
I am
I've
too.
been looking forward to this. I got the butterflies.
You're doing great.
I'm pumped. Well, I don't even know where to begin. Gosh, you want me to start with just from the beginning, just kind of Cliff
Yeah,
Notes version?
Yeah, just go ahead and then we can elaborate on other things as we go. If we find
Yeah.
something that we can just go ahead and get into.
Sure.
Awesome.
After you.
Okay, so I started my DDP yoga journey in 2013. After my daughter was born, she was 10 months old. And I had done Atkins before, and I lost over 100 pounds after I had my son. And when I found out I was pregnant with my daughter, I did okay until after my pregnancy, and I had a lot of issues with postpartum depression, and I gained a lot of that weight back really, really fast. That's just what happens with low carb diets. Sometimes you just gain it back really fast. So that's what happened to me, and that's what brought me to DDPY. I found DDPY after I had my daughter and started when she was 10 months old. I really baby stepped my way through this program, and that's what I love about it so much is that I could modify through it. I was not only severely overweight, I have fibromyalgia and arthritis, so pain has always been a struggle for me, and finding the right workout that's not going to hurt my body was always an issue for me. So I found DDPY, and that was like an absolute life changer for me. In the first 13 months, I reached my weight loss goal of over 100 pounds lost. And after that, I stopped focusing on the numbers so much, and I made different goals for myself, and DDPY has helped me achieve every single one of them. So now that was in 2013 I started, and in 2015 I got my certification to teach DDPY, and so now I'm a certified instructor, and I have the best friggin' job on the planet. So It's good to be here.
No, we're honored to have you. That's
Oh,
a great introduction, by the way. I enjoyed that.
Oh, thanks, Ren.
No problem.
and do you have any questions right away, Adam, or do you want me to go ahead and get?
Well, and you've been doing this since 2013. So, what's your evolution from then to now? Give us a little synopsis of that.
Oh gosh. Like I said, I really, really had to baby step my way through this program. I was obese and completely out of shape. I had zero flexibility. So this was before the awesome app came around, and
Sure.
I had to like find different ways to modify on my own. And I started with the Arthur story, like just like so many people watch the Arthur video and they start from there. And that's what happened with me. And I noticed that in his video, he would have a chair. And I was like, oh my gosh, wow, that's brilliant. Like, I can do that. So literally, I had my mat and I had one chair on one side and one chair on the other. And if I needed help going up and down, I just held on really tight and prayed hard. So
Okay.
I really did have to modify my way through this and just baby steps, living with chronic pain. You really do have to take things little by little and take things day by day. And like I said, that's why I love DDPY so much, because it's been so helpful for me to do this in a healthy way. So that's how I started. I started with chairs, and then eventually I pushed the chairs away. And I started, I did supported lunges on my knees, and I would step my way up. And little by little, I got to where I am now. And when I started, I never in my wildest dreams thought that I would be able to do any of the DDPY stuff. In fact, the first time I watched the videos, I said, nope, can't do that. And I put them up. And I put them up for a while. And then I went back and forth in my head, like, okay, you got to do this. Like, this, your life is dependent on it. This is like your last resort. You've tried everything else. So I took them back out again, and I really did just baby step my way through this. So that's what's taken me to where I am now.
That's tremendous, I just want to say. And I can relate to a lot of those little things, the obesity and stuff like that. So, with the newfound flexibility that you have, has that helped you with your pain at all?
Oh, wow. The change is absolutely mind-blowing to me. At one point in my life, I was gobbling handfuls of pills every day just to make it through the day. Not to feel good, to just make it through. So DDPY really completely changed my life in that sense, where I was able to manage my pain. I'm not going to say it's curable. Obviously, it's not. But DDPY has really made my life a lot easier to manage the pain. And flexibility is a huge part of that. I never knew that being flexible would help with so many different things in my life. So, yes, it definitely helps with the pain and just building strength in my muscles, and just really it's helping me with the weight loss. I have a lot less impact on my joints. So, DDPY really has helped in so many ways for me.
Oh, and the video you put up, or just the other day, where I don't know the pose that that you end up in, where you were laying on your back with your feet underneath you.
That's reclined hero pose for yoga.
There you go. She got it.
Yeah, well, reclined hero pose, man. My knees were screaming just watching that.
Well,
Holy cow!
Yep.
That one, that's another one of those things. I got that position from one of Christina's workouts on the app. And the first time I saw it was when I restarted my journey in January, and I saw it for the first time, and I was like, nope, can't do that. I mean, it's just like when I started DDPY, there were so many things that I said, there's no way you're going to be able to do that. And then I make a goal in my head, and it's not about numbers anymore. It's proving myself wrong. And that has been such like a beautiful eye-opening thing. It's like that position that I did, 3 months ago, my knees were screaming trying to do that, you know? And I really just tiny little steps, and I made my way down, and it doesn't hurt that bad anymore. I mean, it hurts though.
I'm actually gonna post up a picture. It was one of the poses I'm working on. It was when you were using the strap to stretch your back legs.
Yes.
I just think it's really amazing that that you change your mindset to say I can't yet to where I can't.
Yes.
That's huge. And I've done this program over 15 years, so I can get it. Once you get that in your mind, I can't yet. Look
Yes.
at what you're doing. It's unreal to see what you're doing.
Well, thank you. And you know, that's one of Arthur's video really stuck with me, and it's something that when I'm having a hard day, I really will go back and watch that video. And one of the things that stuck with me, and I might get a few words wrong here and there, but the gist of it was, just because I can't do it today doesn't mean that I won't do it someday. And I'll never forget him doing that, and him running down the road like, I got this, I can do it. If he can do it, then I can do it.
Absolutely. No, that's
Absolutely.
great testimony there. I really enjoyed that.
Thank you. I love preaching about this stuff. Like, this is
You're not alone.
You know,
You're not alone on that one, but we love hearing what you're saying. It's really good. It's really it's really good insights to help people say, hey, yes, you can. There isn't no I can't. That's not even available here. Yes, you can.
right. It's not.
Yeah, it's just a matter of, it's just a matter of small steps and working toward it. That reclined hero pose. I can't do that one at the moment. I've been working on it somewhat for a while, and I can sit on my heels, but when it comes to laying back, yeah, that one lights me up still pretty good. But I'm still working on it.
Right, you're working on it, and eventually you'll get there. You know, I'm such a crash and burn kind of person. I've been, before I had kids. This is since I was in kindergarten. I've always been the chubby kid. You know, I've struggled with weight loss my whole life, and I always did whatever fad diet was around. Like when I was a kid, Sugar Busters was. I hope I can't. Can I say? Can I?
Yes. Yeah, that's
Sure.
fine.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what I mean? Like, fad diets were around when I was growing up, and I'd try them, and sometimes they'd work, and I would do really well. But like, then I'd just go back to crap eating, and I've always just crash and burn. So again, that's why I love DDPY so much. Is your goals are so attainable and achievable, and you don't have to go so friggin' hard. Like, I'm a mom, so some days I can barely get on the mat for 15 minutes. But you know what? With dynamic resistance and pushing, I can get a really good workout in 15 minutes. So
absolutely, that's what
Absolutely.
this program. I know you can attest to this. Is no matter how much time you put in, it's doing the work. It's doing the work, putting
right.
forth the effort, and like
Yes.
15 minutes, or I can do some in 10, or like what you did. That's a huge thing compared to just not doing anything, right? I mean, my goodness, look how much you've evolved from that start date to now. That's pretty remarkable, if you ask me.
For sure.
Yeah.
And, I just wanted to throw this out there. Like, the past couple of weeks have been even more motivating for me with Hayden and his Do Something movement. Like, that has been so incredibly powerful to me. And on my hard days the past couple of weeks, like, I'm thinking about Hayden, and he's doing something, so I can do it too. So it's just another great thing about DDP Yoga is the power of this community and what we can do for each other.
Yeah, this community is just amazing. The amount of encouragement that everybody gets from each other, it all feeds off of it, and it keeps you going. It does. You're not alone in this. Everybody has other people that will cheer them on, and it doesn't matter who you are in the process. Everybody, there's people who will go through and go, oh, well, Kristin is she's already a certified instructor. She's doing this, that, and the other. But there's, I'm sure there are plenty of other videos in that you see that encourage you to keep to move forward. Like you say, you see with Hayden and his videos, that there are things that inspire you to keep doing better. And we all have that.
For sure. I get daily motivation. I have to go through the DDP yoga groups on Facebook every day and just check on everybody and see what everybody's up to. And like, sometimes I'll see a post on a bad day where I was like planning in my head, like, oh, I'm too tired, I'm not going to do it. And then I read somebody's post that was like, I pushed through and I made it through a workout today. And I was like, oh, damn it, now I have to work out. Like, she's doing it, so I got to, you know? So the power of the community is real, and I love y'all.
No, we love you too.
Yeah, likewise, yes.
Oh, absolutely.
And we need to, sorry, Gary, go ahead.
Well, I was going to back up a moment because she'd mentioned about the different fad diets you've been on. How many of the different diets did you try before you found one that worked for you?
Oh, wow. Well, okay. So I was 25 when I started DDPY. So 20 years of just trying to figure it out and just yo-yoing through my, up and down with my weight, up and down with my health. Honestly, the only thing that has ever worked for me is DDPY, and that's why I'm so strong and adamant about this program, is because it hasn't just been about weight loss for me. It really has changed my life. I struggled with addiction growing up too. So it's taught me to live a life without medication, unnecessary medication. There is some medication for my disease that I have to take, but it's just such a powerful program that's completely changed my life.
And when we talked earlier, you were talking about that you battled eating disorders. Can you talk a little bit, if you don't mind, about what you battled and how you are now compared to when you were in the throes of it?
Yeah, sure. I'm such an open book. I appreciate y'all giving me the opportunity to talk about this stuff, and it's always been a touchy subject for me. But one of the things that I've really been working on this year is to just face my demons and own up to them. And even though bulimia is a touchy subject for me, I feel like maybe if I just mention it and just pour my heart out a little bit about it, then maybe somebody else will hear if they're struggling too. It's eating disorders have always been a part of my life, and it started at a young age. Like, not to be like a super sob story, but I had some traumatic events that happened when I was a child, and I think that the eating disorder stemmed from that. It's not just about weight loss. For anybody that has battled with any kind of eating disorder, there's a common misconception that it's all about weight loss, and that's just not the case. It's a mental thing. I used it a lot to punish myself. It was a really vicious cycle that I was really killing myself with. And it's an addiction, just like drugs. You relapse, you go up and down, you have good days, you have struggles. And I would be lying if I said that I didn't still struggle. But I'm proud to say that, I can manage my stress without purging. I've gone above and beyond where I was just years ago. And I honestly don't think I could have done that without DDPY. It's just, again, it's not just about weight loss. DDPY has given me a way to healthily control my emotions, to de-stress, to just live a healthier life. So I'm super blessed.
I have a question, if you don't mind.
Sure.
You mentioned, and I want to ask you with the program, is it to you, or for you, if you don't mind, is it more of your lifestyle than anything else? Because obviously what I'm hearing is it changed your complete lifestyle around.
100%. I would like to think I'm a completely different person because of this program. It started out as weight loss. I wanted to be smaller. And when I reached my goal, my weight loss goal, I realized, oh, wow, well, I hit that number that I wanted to hit, but I'm not quite happy yet. I always thought if I got to that magic number that it would just solve all of my problems. And that just wasn't the case. So I really used DDP yoga. The power of proving yourself wrong is such a strong, beautiful thing. And I think that's helped me so much, like mentally. It's not just a physical changes. Like you get so much mental strength from proving yourself wrong and hitting the mat every day, like even on the days that you don't want to. It's just such a beautiful change.
Well, just from listening to your talk, to me, it's you've mastered the art of owning it, but you've also mastered the art of I'm not going to quit, and you've changed your mindset, because where the mindset goes, the body will follow. That's
Exactly.
powerful. What you've
Exactly.
done
Yeah,
is
definitely.
you've completely 360'd yourself to go, yes, I can. This I can't doesn't exist now. Let me keep improving and saying, hey,
Yes.
when I say I can't, I'm still working on it. And
Right.
now look at you. I hear you in your voice. That's owning it. That's transformation in itself right there.
Well, thank you so much. I really I love this program, and I've worked really really hard to get where I am, and it's like people like y'all that are here to motivate and push me every day. Like I just can't thank this community enough, because there was a point in my life that I didn't have help at home. I was in a horrible marriage, just a lot of emotional abuse, and DDPY was a very negative thing. And so even though I did it on my own, and I could do it on my own, I couldn't have done it without y'all, without the community pushing me and telling me this isn't a selfish thing. Like, you've got this. We're here for you. Like, y'all tell me that kind of stuff all the time, and I feel it. And that's what pushed me through the hard times. And I really did. I went through a horrible divorce, and I had to completely rebuild my life. And I could not have done that without DDP yoga. I mean, I had to completely start over. And now, I'm happily married with another baby, which I bounced back from baby weight with DDP yoga again. Like, again.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank
congratulations.
you.
And
I'm healthier. I don't know numbers on the scale because I don't weigh myself anymore, but I'm actually healthier this time around than last time. So, I mean, it's just the power of DDP yoga is fierce. I say that all the time, but I mean it.
here's another question, if you don't mind, is and something else I picked up on is you have the ultimate power of belief in yourself. That I can tell that by what you're saying, and to me, from the eating disorder to any of the difficulties in your life, or the trials, if you will, you still had that belief in yourself to go, hell yeah, yes I can, right? And you use the program to also relieve some of those things, but in getting healthier, head to toe. Now look at you, for the love of God.
Well,
Right?
I appreciate that, friend. I mean, God, it's been a long road, and I have to be honest. Like, there was one point in my life that I just didn't think I could do any of this. I didn't think that I could get on the mat and touch my toes. At one point in my life, I couldn't tie my shoes without suffocating myself. That's so embarrassing to say, but I mean,
I've been in that same boat, so I
Yeah,
get it.
been there.
Amen.
So
Amen to that. Wow. Yes, we all three of
Yes.
us, along with
Okay,
yourself,
Yes.
can
so
feel
Yes,
the
when
pain
you
on
have to
that.
hold your breath to clip your toenails,
yeah.
That's
Oh
pretty
my
rough.
God.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
yeah,
terrible.
been there.
And sometimes involuntarily, like sometimes I would lean over and be,
Oh my, yeah. Wow.
Oh yeah, yeah.
oh, but
Getting a cramp when you tie your shoes, things like
oh
that.
my
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
God,
Oh
like
yeah.
tying your shoes was its own workout. Yeah, like
Just trying to put socks on was a battle for me. I
isn't
didn't. I
that
had to have this. I had
crazy?
to have assistance, or I would have choked myself out.
Isn't that wild what we've been
Hmm.
through, y'all? Like to
Sure.
think those were the struggles that we used to have.
Hmm.
That's
Oh
crazy.
yeah.
It is.
They seem simple, but they were not at the
No,
time.
No,
the
they weren't.
little things were the hardest things. I couldn't fit in my damn car, y'all. Like
Oh, I get it. I mean,
it
now
was a struggle.
now look at us. All those things that I know I used to take those for granted. Did you ever take those simple things like tying your shoes or putting your socks on, or as my
Oh
brother
man.
Gary, clipping your toenails or whatever? I
Life
mean,
is just a walking blessing these
it
days.
is, isn't
I
it?
was walking in the mall the other day with the kids, and I was like, oh my gosh, I just made it through this whole mall and I'm okay. Like, I made it. Because
There
back
you
in the
go.
day, I couldn't do that. I was this close to asking for a rascal at the mall. I kid you not. Like, that was my life at some point. So, I mean, the power of DDP yoga and believing in yourself. Like, at one point in my life, I was just going to accept that this horrible, mediocre life was like what I deserved. And I don't think I would have figured it out unless I started this program.
Well, I'm extremely proud of you for sure, because my goodness, I mean, hearing that in your voice, the ultimate belief that you have, that's the biggest thing also, is having that mindset, having that belief. That's
Absolutely
huge. That is really huge, because now you're putting that work in as you've been doing. With effort and work ethic equals results. So look what you're doing. That's huge.
Thanks so much. Thank you very much, friend.
Well, and to me, it's, we hear it all the time, make it your own, things along those lines. But to me, when you truly make it your own, it becomes part of who you are.
Yes.
You don't have to think about it anymore. It's just part of who you are at that point.
Yes, exactly. There was one point, actually, when I restarted this journey in January, I had to put a lot of effort into this, and I had to say, okay, you know what? We got to be structured with this. We got to figure it out. And we need to make a game plan and a schedule. So let's write it down. You're going to take the kids in the morning to school. So when you get home, you're going to do a chore, and then you're going to work out. And I used to have to really follow that schedule tediously. And then it slowly turned into, this is part of my life. I'm just going to flow through this. Like, working out wasn't a chore anymore. Working out was just part of, like, the same way, like, I have to take the kids to school. Like, I have to work out. You know what I mean? Like, I look forward to it. Not that I'm forcing myself. It's just part of my life now, if that makes sense.
To me, it does. I mean, when you get to the point where, you do things and it's like, you're not, I'm not exercising, I get to do stuff.
Right. Thank you. I'm so, Gary friend, Prez. I'm so glad that you said that. I get to do stuff now. You made me cry the other day when I read that. And that's what we were just talking about, is the little things. You never realize how important they are until you actually get to do them, and it's really cool. Like, I get to do stuff now.
You get to live your life the way you want to live it now.
Right, you get to live.
Yeah, and that's huge. So now with your goals now, with goal setting, what's your new goals you have that you want to achieve now?
Oh wow, I take it day by day. I'm struggling a lot with my autoimmune disease, and just trying to find a way to still live with this pain, trying to figure out what causes what. And that's, my goal is just to be able to live, and just to live a happy life with this, and not let it bring me down and sink me down into like a pit of despair. I just want to live.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for those who don't know, which autoimmune disease do you have?
Arthritis. So right now I'm a mystery, but we're on the fence. I'm actually going to my neurologist tomorrow. I'm showing a lot of signs of psoriatic arthritis, because with my flare-ups, my skin literally falls off. It's the weirdest thing. Like, my husband calls it my zombie thumb. Like, when I get a flare-up, it turns like a different color because all of my skin falls off, and like, it hurts my joints really bad. Now there's a possibility we're talking about lupus, because a lot of my symptoms are very similar to people that have lupus. So we're going to figure it out, though. We're going to baby step through this. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia and juvenile arthritis when I was 13. But they never really, like, arthritis was not much of an issue until this year, or late last year. I've always dealt with the fibromyalgia and focused on that, but I started to show a lot of, I had a lot of trouble with my flare-ups and joint pain. So now arthritis is really trying to take a toll on me, but I'm not going to let it win. Like, we're not going to do that, but we're going to figure it out. it's fine. We're fine.
You got the perfect mindset to overcome it, so I have no doubts about that.
Well, thanks. I can't afford to stop at this point. At one point in my life, I was a selfish teenager that, it was all right for me to pop a bunch of pills. I didn't have much to live for. It wasn't until I found out that I was pregnant with my son that he gave me a purpose to get clean. Sorry.
No, that's okay. It's okay.
But
Totally get it.
That's powerful. It is. It's powerful.
God, it was just completely, they give me a purpose and they give me a reason to keep going. They need me to chase them around and take them to school. And if I can't fit in my car, I can't take them to school.
My goodness. I mean, just what you just said there, if that doesn't give someone some motivation, my God, I don't know what will. I mean, that's huge because again, the power of that belief that you have.
Oh, thanks.
The power of wanting to never give up. That's huge. Or as Satan says, do something. Well, take it a step further and own your life. You're owning it now. That's
Absolutely.
huge.
And I see your videos where you have, your kids crawling all over you while you're trying to do a workout.
Yeah, those are
I can tell you, I love those parts.
Those are great.
They may drive you crazy, but I love those videos.
Oh, hey, it's all right.
Absolutely.
It reminds me of when my kids were little, and that's been so long ago. I'm here to tell you that at this point in time, I don't want my kids climbing all over me.
That's no doubt.
Yeah, I do not want my son jumping on my back at this point in time. My son is 21. He's 6'6", almost 6'7". He weighs about 280. I don't want him jumping on me.
No.
So, Kristin, I want to tell you something because I think it's so important that we know how we motivate each other. There's this voice in one of the videos that likes to count fast.
Oh, no.
And when I started doing these videos, because I was doing that December, the 28 days or 24 days of Christmas challenge, and I got to that video and I went, oh my God, she's counting the way I need to count right now.
I was trying to help y'all out.
Seeing you in those videos and you're pushing and you're counting, just for me, I kept coming back to that video as much as I hate it. And I can't even, is it Synergy?
Is the diamond cutter?
A diamond cutter. Yeah, I hate it. But I kept coming back to it because you start counting fast at the point where I'm ready to give up. And I'm like, damn it, I'm going to do it because Kristin's doing it. How many videos have you been in?
Oh, wow. It was just
that one?
When we went, I did that one, but a few months before, there's a funny story to all this, and Garrett can tell you, Genevieve can tell you. So we filmed those a few months beforehand, and we all got there, and it was when they opened the Performance Center, and the way that Dallas had set up the stage, after we all did our workouts and recorded them, he decided that he did not like the placement of the stage. So he called all of us back and asked if we could come back to Atlanta and film them again. And so we had to go back in September, and y'all, like, the reason I was counting so fast was because, it's like a 55-minute workout, but we, like, with all the cuts and starting over, it took us like 4 hours.
Oh my God.
Oh.
I was like barely hanging in there, and I'm so glad they can't hear. Like, I swear, all of us were like you could all hear like muffled cursing. This is horrible. Oh, but it was a lot of fun. Like, that was one of the coolest experiences of my life. And while I was there, I was also lucky enough to help with the tutorials. Like, on the app, they have like the how-tos, and I'm the bent-legged bar back and the stiff-legged bar back.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
And I have to say, in looking over the pictures, I did find a picture. To me, it is one of the happiest pictures I see you in. So I'm gonna drop out and bring this up.
Okay.
Oh,
And Kristin, what's it like, doing a workout where you're on TV or on your screen doing it?
Terrifying. Oh, look at that. Is that me? Yeah, that's
It
me.
is. That's you
Oh,
at the
that's
at
great.
front and center there.
Oh man, that was so much fun. That was that was just a few months ago.
Yeah, I
You
remember
know,
very well.
I absolutely love my job as an instructor, but I have to tell y'all, like when I started my certification, I could not speak in front of anybody. I would like instantly cry. That was my thing, is like I opened my mouth, but instead of talking, I would cry. And so, I met Dallas at WrestleCon before WrestleMania, in New Orleans. And when I met him, he was like, and I'm sure he tells everybody this, like, oh, you should really think about certification. And I took it to heart, like, oh my God, this guy's asking me to do it, so I'm going to do it. And that was my goal. That was after I hit over 100 pounds. I was like, okay, I'm going to get certified. I love this stuff. I'm going to do it. And it was a baby step process. I had some awesome friends from the DDP yoga world. Before the app came out, we would go on Google Hangout, and we would do kind of like this. Like we would all have like different little Brady Bunch squares, and we would work out, and they would help. It would help me because it was like a baby step process. Like I wasn't ready to speak in front of people yet, but I could get online and do it that way. And I cried a lot, and they saw it, like a lot of struggle there, but it's one of those things, like you got to baby step into it. And now I'm like, I mean, you get nervous, and I think cameras make everybody nervous. Like maybe except for Dallas, he seems really cool as a cucumber, but
I think you get used to the camera.
I agree, and plus with Dallas being a pro wrestler like he was for so many years,
yeah.
if you're any type of fear, you're going to be losing it pretty quick. But just to ask, now doing the program for several years now, did that help you kind of come out of that comfort zone to speaking to people or speaking in front of a group, and go now I can do things I thought I never even would do, right?
Oh yeah.
I know it happened for me. So I just wanted to know if you've experienced the same type of possible similarities.
I feel like I'm finally the person that I always wanted to be, that I was always too afraid to be, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah, it does.
I say that DDP yoga changed me, and it might have changed me in some ways, but I feel like I'm able to be the person that I've always wanted to be, that I was just so insecure or scared or afraid to be. So DDP yoga has really like opened up my eyes to just a whole new world of self-love. Like I've struggled with self-love my entire life. I've told myself this horrible story, and DDP yoga helped me start a new one. I made a new story for myself, and it's just been such a really cool process to just figure out who I am and who I want to be.
It feels good to just close that one part of that book and then go, you know what, I'm going to rewrite this now and make it what it really should be. That's got to be powerful to experience that, right? Now you're like, here we go. It's ready. We're ready to roll here.
I always felt so out of control with my life, and DDP yoga really put me in control of my life and showed me that I really am. I own it. It's nobody else's choice. Nobody else can make me feel bad about myself. I can love me, and I'm enough. I'm enough. I have to tell myself every day. I'm sure I look like a crazy person, but I look myself in the mirror every day and say, you are worth it. Let's get it done.
Well, I do the same type of thing every day. I used to do that for 5 minutes a day for over a month straight. I get it. And now, again, having that newfound leash on life now you can, I finally live in life now. My goodness, what a clear vision you have, right? My goodness.
Yes.
Wow.
So has DDPY since you started with that, have you been able to transition into other exercises?
Oh, yes. So I found my new love of biking. I love for my husband got me a wonderful gift, and y'all, I just have like, I love her, but it's just a huffy like bike from Walmart, okay? But I didn't need anything special, so I like to go on a flat land. I don't bike like, like the cycling at the gym. I'm talking about just going outside, appreciating the weather, being outside and getting some sunshine and riding my bike, because it's one thing that's not only good for like mentally, it's good for me, but like it's really low impact on my joints, and
Mhm.
I can move my body without hurting myself, just like DDP yoga. So biking is a good one, and I love swimming too. That's another, like, you can get it high cardio if you want, high cardio, low impact, just like DDPY. So those two things, but especially the biking and the bike club, and yeah, I
That's right.
love
Let's talk about the bike club for a second,
talk about it.
because we're trying to get that off the ground.
I know. I want to make it a thing for real. I want to make it a thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Matter of fact, anybody watching is chime in if check in if you're one of the people in the DDPY group, to be in the DDP bike club. Let's let our numbers be known, because there's quite a few.
There are quite a few. It's crazy because, like, I remember it started with you posting your bicycle picture, and you thought it was funny that you had the bell and in the
Oh,
basket, but I thought that your basket was badass. By the way, I want to get one.
I have the most unmasculine bike there is, and I really don't care.
Who cares? It's awesome. I
Yeah,
want your bike.
it's a step through. It's a step through. Girl style bike, and I like it because with sometimes my hips were working there. It's easier to step through than it is to step over. And
Yeah.
yeah, I use it to go to the grocery store, so the basket comes in handy.
I mean, perfect, right? And mine has a cell phone holder, so I'm balling out of control over here. But
Yeah.
it started with your post, and I was like, oh my God, Gary bikes. Well, me too. And then I saw like a lot of people do it too. I'm like, I love that we can come together as a community, and like, it doesn't have to just be about DDPY. I mean, it will always be like my first love, but
Absolutely.
I love that we can like vibe on different levels and like talk about bicycles. Like, bicycles are awesome. So I love the club thing, and I hope it gets somewhere. We need to take it somewhere.
Yeah, and next week we're going to be talking to Vance, and I'm pretty sure that the triathlons are going to come up.
Well,
Oh yeah.
that's without question. That's going to come up.
Yeah, well, you'd see if you don't bring it up, I will.
Well, one of us will bring it up, but I
sure.
want to be one of the members. I mean, I've ridden bikes for years, but where I live right now, not the safest place to ride one right now.
Oh no.
Living on a state road highway is not the best way to go
Ooh,
biking
yeah,
around here.
I used to live off of what they called Bloody 98 because it was Highway 98 and everybody gets freaking killed.
Oh, I believe it. I
get
believe
that.
it. Oh yeah.
Gotcha.
Ooh, I get it.
Yeah, there's being in Southern California, man. Yeah, I've had a few times riding bikes that cars don't see you. But believe it or not, it was worse when I was in the wheelchair. I used to get hit almost daily. I'd have someone almost hit me.
How do you not see somebody in a wheelchair when you're driving? Like, where are you looking? I
I
don't.
don't know, but my wheelchair was enormous, and I'm not a small guy, and my wheelchair was orange. I got it a really bright color so people would see it. They don't look. I've had two people in. Yeah, they're not paying attention.
Not me. I would see you, friend.
I would too, bro.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. But yeah, I've had someone almost hit me, and then you at that point you want to give them the one finger salute, and the person right behind them did the exact same thing.
Oh.
And two people in a row almost run me over, and it's like, you want to have let's stop for a second. Let's get this old man out of the wheelchair. He'll tell you how he really feels. Yeah. I'm glad. There's many reasons to be happy to not be in that chair anymore.
So proud of you. You've come a long way.
It's been a lot of work. It's been, but it's been follow the program really. It's I've had a lot of people ask how you do it, and it's the same as anybody else. Eat right, work out, get good rest, and don't quit.
Don't quit. That's what it's about.
The funny thing is when you talk to people about it, the one that hangs them up is the don't quit. That's the main thing. You just every day you got to keep going. To me, this is my job now.
Exactly. Right.
And my attitude is if you called into work and said with whatever your excuses of the day, if you called in and said, hey, I cut my finger up, I got to go to the emergency room. Yeah, that's an excuse to not go to work today. But if you're calling in and saying, I just don't feel like it, yeah, that's not going to fly. That doesn't, you still have to go to work.
Right.
So, to me, it's, whatever it is, I've got work to do. So just keep going.
Maybe we can open up for Q&A. What do you think?
Yep, absolutely. I'm putting up a couple of comments as you guys are talking.
Okay.
Just the people commenting on a few things. Tim was talking about how good DDPY restored his muscle tone from when he was weightlifting and how much he loves the community. I don't know who one of these comments was from. I guess I should look, but they were talking about they just got back from kickboxing. So another one where,
awesome.
where a lot of us do start it maybe with DDPY, and it's given us the ability to transition into a different exercise routine, swimming, biking, whatever. Let's see here.
Absolutely. It's become a component of what I do, but it's not solely what I still do DDPY, and I will for the rest of my life because that's what keeps my back flexible enough to do things. The other things, heck, I've become a gym rat. I go to the gym 4 days a week.
I see you, and you ride your bike there too, don't you?
Yeah, I ride my bike to the gym. Yeah, it's like funny because my version of most things is the day starts off doing DDPY. Sometimes on some days I'm not engaging real heavy, but I'm just going through for flexibility. And then I ride my bike to the gym, and I might have, I'll do either arm day or leg day or swim, and then I ride home. So it's like I've done 3 different exercises there most days.
Wow.
I'm one of the very few that's the only workout program I've done for 15 years, but that's all that I do.
Oh wow.
But see, we've also established she has bike envy.
I do. I still always ride a bike, but not where I live right now. The Gimmick Street back here,
That's
not
what
the
I mean.
safest place to do it.
At the moment, you have bike envy.
I can ride at different places, just not where my residence is.
There you go.
Yeah, it's important that people understand that that other people are doing DDPY for different reasons.
Absolutely.
Kristin and I are both kind of at a point where we're fighting every day. We're fighting chronic pain from autoimmune diseases. Gary's met so many goals already, but keeps having more and more goals. But that goal setting is so important. And Kristin, one of the things I'm going to remind you, because I really wanted you to talk about it, was you wanted to mention the scale. That evil scale.
Yeah.
It is.
That was to the scale, not you, Fred.
I know that.
Oh man, so I feel like this is a touchy subject for some people, and I'm so sorry if I hurt anybody's feelings. I love y'all. I mean this with best intentions, and this is only coming from experience. This is. For me, when I started, it was a number goal. My goal was to lose 100 pounds. That's all I cared about was that number on the scale. That's all I cared about. I didn't care if I felt better. It didn't matter. As long as those numbers kept going down, then that's what was going to make me happy. And once I figured out that was not, that number on the scale was not going to define my happiness, then it just completely just changed my whole outlook on life. But non-scale victories are a huge part of that. And I found, gosh, the number on the scale is probably the least important thing out there to worry about or to, to try to change. I love the little, not what you think is little, but the non-scale victories of touching your toes without suffocating. Like, that's huge to me, and changing retraining my brain to not focus on the numbers has just helped me become so much emotionally stronger than I ever thought that I could be. So to me, this scale can F off. Um, Especially because, and I mean, I know most everybody knows this, but the number on the scale can be different for so many reasons, especially for us women and hormones and all the crap that we have to deal with. So, like, it hurts my heart and it breaks my heart in a million pieces when I see the girls, especially in the DDP yoga group, that's like, oh, well, I haven't lost anything this week. Well, girl, maybe your period's coming, like, sorry, like, I don't mean to be like TMI,
Nope.
but you know what I mean? And for men too, with everybody, the scale is not, the scale should not define you. The scale does not define your happiness. And once you figure that out, it opens your eyes to this whole new, beautiful, awesome world. So
Yeah.
I could go on and on about this stuff, y'all.
Absolutely. Yeah. The numbers are not, those numbers aren't what really, you don't get the, watching the scale doesn't get it there. I was one of the ones that for a long time, being on the app, being in the top 100 where you're on that list, that really meant something to me for a long time. And I was up in the top 100 for many months in a row. That number doesn't mean anything to me anymore. I'm not numbers driven anymore. I'm what can I do? What can I get away with? Those kinds of things. And I don't even put on my heart rate monitor and fire up the app for a lot of things I do anymore.
Me too. I don't use a heart rate monitor really, because I don't want to know how much I weigh, and you kind of have to know to like figure out what your heart rate needs to be. But really, that kind of stuff to me is just not near as important as everything else. But however, I say all of that, and I also want to throw this out there. I know that everybody is different and accountability is different for everybody.
Absolutely.
So I say all of that, and on the other hand, I know that it does help for people to kind of keep track with that kind of stuff. However, when it becomes a constant, when that's all you think about, when the scale is making you unhappy, that's when it's unhealthy. And that's
Right.
when you need to give it like a double middle finger, like,
Give the old Stone Cold salute. I got you.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Just always remember it's a tool.
Yes.
I do a different version of the scale now. Every 2 weeks I go in and get the in-body scan, which instead of just telling you your weight, it gives
Those
you
are awesome.
so much information.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be doing another one next Monday. I'll be interested to see what it comes up with because I can tell the difference, in different parts of my body over the last 2 weeks when I'm working out, but my weight hasn't changed at all.
See, I mean, it's crazy. I haven't touched the scale in months. When I restarted this journey, I weighed myself in January, and I tried to keep up with it a little bit, and I could see my mind was starting to get back into. Unfortunately, I feel like I will always kind of have that in the back of my mind with having an eating disorder for so many years. It's a trigger thing for me. Getting on the scale kind of triggered me into negative self-talk and negative thinking. So I caught myself and I said, oh, whoa, no, I'm getting back into that mind frame. Let's not do that. Let's not get on the scale and see what happens. And so this time around was the first time that I did this without the scale. And honestly, for me, I feel like that is why I have succeeded the way that I have, is because those numbers didn't control me and I focused on so many other things off of the scale, and it really just completely changed everything.
Those non-scale victories are really important. You and I have through a couple of posts shared some interesting ones, Kristin.
Yeah.
We knew which ones those were.
Are we going there?
No, we're going to save that for another show. But the point is, they're so important. And
They are.
and you may measure by how much less pain you have, or by capability, like I am, being able to build my way up in swimming and build my way up into tackling 100 yoga poses.
Love that.
There's just so many ways that you can judge your success. It doesn't have to be a number, you know.
Well, I think an important thing that hasn't been brought up is you define your own happiness. No one else does but you.
Absolutely.
Only
Absolutely.
you can
Amen.
define and can build upon what that is and the definition of what that is. Non-skill victories, whatever the gimmick is, do it. If it helps you, go do it. If it doesn't, then find
Absolutely.
something else.
Yeah.
So, Kristin,
Enjoy the journey.
we have actually a really important question here from Kate. Kate says she's a recovering bulimic and has been struggling to stay on any kind of a diet, and she's self-aware, and so she's asking herself questions about why she's self-sabotaging, and wants to know if you have any suggestions on eating healthy without a dieting mindset.
Oh, yes. Okay. Gosh, girl. I could preach about this all day, too. So how much time we got left? Really? First of all, I know Sweet Kate, and she's one of my new friends in the DDP yoga world, and we haven't really had a chance to talk too much, but I'm super glad that she brought this up. Diets die.
Yep.
Amen to that. Thank you.
Amen.
They do.
That's the
Diets
facts.
die, and a healthy lifestyle is, for me, the only way that I'm going to be able to maintain this. Because honestly, y'all, the weight loss part of this is the easiest. It's maintaining and keeping this lifestyle.
Yep.
And I feel like with diets, you're setting yourself up for failure.
I couldn't agree more.
Most of them out there are not realistic to stick with for the rest of your life. And once I figured that out, it was like, okay, if you just, girl, first of all, you're beautiful and you should love yourself, but I understand that struggle. But clean, healthy eating really is medicine for your body. And you will learn that once you clean up your body, like clean up your diet. Not only is it going to help you with weight loss, but you're going to feel better. I mean, once you train yourself to eat healthy and treat your body with love and respect, the bulimia issues will subside. And I cannot sit here and promise that they're all going to go away, because that's just not the case. But if you treat your body with respect instead of killing yourself on a diet, you're going to go above and beyond what you ever thought you could do. It's just been completely life-changing for me to just not be a slave to a diet and just live and just, okay, well, I'm going to try to eat as smart as I can. But if I have something with my kids, if we go out and get frozen yogurt, I'm going to do it up big, and I'm going to say, that was really good. And tomorrow I'm going to hit my mat, and it's just another day, But I hate to say, when I have struggled with diets in the past, there is no, okay, I can have this frozen yogurt. Like, it'll completely take you off the rails. And, it's so discouraging. And that's just, it's not a way to live. And I feel like diets are honestly a mistake for people like us that have struggled with eating disorders. You just have to learn to love yourself. And it takes a lot of time, but it's so worth it.
Do you plan cheat days?
No. Okay, so initially when I started, I did. And I think cheat days are awesome if you want to, but I just feel like I trained my body to just eat cleaner, and the cleaner I ate, the less I wanted the junk. So used to be I would count down the days until my cheat day, and then I would have whatever I wanted and it'd be fine. But now it's like, I don't know, your cravings kind of subside. And even though
Yeah.
I still sometimes really, really want ice cream, I don't know. I don't have to plan out a specific day. If I want it, then I get it. If I want it, it's okay, and I'm gonna eat it. But that was not. That's not how I started. I had to baby step my way to that, because when I first started, I didn't have a lot of self control. I really had to be a little bit more strict, and I did have cheat days. So, with time, that's changed. So,
I have a question for you for a quick moment. Do you advocate creating your own system?
do I what?
Advocate creating your own dietary system for what works for you or for somebody else?
I'm sorry. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
What I said was, or my question rather, is do you advocate creating your own dietary system?
I I am an advocate of everybody is different, and
Okay.
everybody's journey is totally different. Our bodies are totally different. We metabolize food completely different.
Mhm.
God made us, I mean, not to get preachy, but God made us all in his own creation. We're all different. So,
That's what makes us unique, doesn't it?
exactly. So, I really feel like you just kind of have to dabble. You got to figure out yourself. You got to figure out what's good for you and what works for you, and what works for you might not work for some. So, while I feel like it's important to get suggestions from friends and people in the community that are doing, different things with their diet, um, what's most important is you. And you just really have to trust the process and like learn your body, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Like, you just got to figure out what works for you.
Mhm.
Yeah. We do have a comment. I'm actually going to read this word for word because this is so powerful. I can't even believe it. It says, happiness is an emotion and it is fleeting. The focus should be on reaching contentedness. If you are content in life, you can ride the ups and downs with a sense of security, knowing that overall there will be more ups and downs. Gives you a permanent light at the end of the tunnel.
Oh, wow.
That is some amazing. That's from Deborah Dugan, and thank you. That is so amazingly powerful.
I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you, Deborah.
because happiness is a wonderful thing, but we can't be happy all the time. And my husband and I, we've been married 5 years, together 9.5, and we always say being content is so much more important than trying to strive to be happy all the time.
That's why I always advocate being neutral.
And you do it very well, Adam.
Because when you're neutral, there's nothing that bothers you.
Well,
there you go. That's
there
one
you
way
go.
to look at it.
That's
I
just the
think
truth.
I think it's important to know that life is life, and there's going to be good days and bad days. You just have to roll through the punches and just figure out how to deal with whatever you're going through and owning it. That's been my
Yes.
biggest thing. Like, that's been my goal this year. I even got it tattooed on me so I wouldn't forget to own my life. Like, the good, the bad, the ups and downs. Figure out how to own that. Make it your
Exactly.
own, and just figure it out.
Well said.
And if you went to an amusement park and you had two different rides you could take, and one was just a straight line for however long it was, and then the ride ended, and it was level, it was flat, it was straight. Or you could go on the one that has the ups and downs and throws you to the sides. Which one would you go on?
Exactly.
Ups and
We're all,
downs.
Ups and
yeah,
downs. That's how you learn and adapt, react, and take action.
yeah. I mean, so enjoy the journey.
Preach.
Agreed.
Friend, preach.
Well,
Agreed.
believe it or not, guys, we've done an hour.
Okay.
I
Well,
know,
time
it's
flies
so
when you're
fast.
having fun,
I am going to post up. This is one of my favorite pictures of you, Kristin. It has nothing to do with the fact that you have a drop dead sexy husband. So we're going to send him a nice shout out too for being so supportive,
Oh.
exercising with you,
Absolutely.
taking the kids so you can play with us.
Y'all.
So I'm going to put this picture up and just say something about your husband, because he's just so supportive, and he's really the epitome of what a great support system is. So I'm going to drop out to bring this picture up.
Oh my goodness. That's a good excuse to drop out. I'll miss you, but oh God. Y'all, for those that don't know Joaquin, I'm so sorry, but he's been just an absolute game changer through all this. My kids and Joaquin make me cry, but it's powerful. He's powerful because at one point in my life, I didn't have support at home, and I felt really alone. And after the divorce, I felt like I was just gonna settle for this life alone, and I was willing to do that, and I was willing to just raise my kids by myself. And he came around and he just completely changed my mindset on everything, and he made me want to fight again. I just felt really weak and defeated for a long time, and divorce can do that to you. So he is my number one motivator. He's like the president of my fan club. He's he works really hard throughout the week, and when he comes home on the weekend, like, I don't even have to ask him. He's like, do you want to work out? Like, he loves working out. And when I was working at the gym, he was coming to my classes, like, not just to flirt with me, like, he actually really liked to do DDP yoga. So to sum it up, he's amazing, and he loves this community. He loves y'all, and like, he keeps up with my friends too. Like, how's blah blah blah? Like, I heard that they did red hot core today. Like, so I love that he's a part of the community too, and he's a wonderful father to our kids, and he's the best husband I could ever ask for. So I'm really, really lucky and blessed.
Yeah, you made me tear up on that one too.
I'm happy. I'm very happy for you both. I really am.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Well, Kristin, we really appreciate you coming on.
Oh,
it was absolutely a pleasure, and we're going to make you a regular guest.
Oh God, please do. This was really fun.
That was fantastic. So we really enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
That was
this
wonderful.
has been a blast.
Really was.
Oh, thanks, y'all. Thank you so much. It was really, I've been wanting to share my story this way for a long time, and I'm just really blessed that you gave me a platform to speak on, and I'm just super blessed for the opportunity, and y'all are just a great group of people. So it was like talking to all my friends. Sure. It's really cool. Thank you so much.
No,
thank you.
It's been wonderful having you on.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Yeah, we really appreciate you sharing and opening up and really helping people like you have tonight. It's really going to help a lot of people.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I hope so. That's all. I never thought in a million years that I would be a positive influence on anybody. At one point in my life, I know I was a negative influence. So this is all just such a blessing to just know that I might be helping somebody. Like, wow, that's really cool. So thank y'all for helping me do that.
Oh, you're helping people. Don't worry about
You're
that.
helping people.
You're helping people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Try to never doubt that, because you're helping. Like, anyone in this or in anything that we do, we're helping someone, whether they say it or not. So you're doing a lot of good work.
I mean, we didn't even get into the Thunderstruck Challenge, and we could go on for a while if we touched on that very much. We'll have to save that for another day.
Maybe
absolutely.
Next time, right?
Right.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll get all four of us to do a Thunderstruck Challenge together to kick it off.
You never know.
I don't know.
You can modify it.
I'll have to do it in my whirlpool there.
Oh, hey, that's good. Oh, we should do that in the pool. That's a good one.
Well, that might be a trick to be able to have all four of us do it, but
I don't have a pool, but
she won't have her computer with her.
Hey, you never know.
Never know.
Speaking of coming up, Gary, we did not announce what's happening next weekend, so you want to go ahead? Or next Monday? No, we skipped over it.
I thought we touched on it, but yeah, next week we're going to have Vance Hines and Chase Green on. And that one's gonna be fun. I have had a chance to interview Chase before, but I've spoken to Vance on the phone, but just briefly. So I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be a blast.
I'm looking forward to that. That's very exciting. They both have two amazing stories to tell, so I'll be tuning into that one.
Yeah, and we've got some other great shows coming up. They're not fully scheduled yet, but Emily, is it Trampanier? Am I saying that right? She's going to be a guest on, and she is visually impaired and snowboards, and she posted up a video of her trying to ride a scooter. And so she
she's
does
a
all
rock
this
star.
amazing stuff.
Very
And
inspirational.
I mean,
Yeah.
just absolutely crazy, the stuff that she does.
Yeah, she is a fearless rock star.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So we've got some really amazing people coming up, and we're going to have Kristin back on. Kristin and I are going to do a couple of special shows on autoimmune disease with Gary, and we're going to do an NSV show so that people can share their different NSVs. That one will not be safe for work, I have a feeling. And
Or small children.
yeah, and Kristin, I'm gonna invite her to come back, and I want to do one specifically about the difficulties women have in losing weight and getting back in shape, especially those of us that are, post childbearing years and what we struggle with the hormones. Because let's face it, guys can, look at a glass of water and go, I'll drink an extra glass of water, and they'll lose 10 pounds.
Yeah.
Not quite that easy.
And we can work our butts off and eat right and gain 5 pounds. So definitely gonna have Kristin back. We really appreciate not only you being here, but you being in the groups and as active as you are. And I am so blessed to count you as a friend.
Oh, thanks.
Well,
I
yes.
hope y'all don't get,
Here.
I'm always so worried. I hope y'all don't get annoying with all my posting, because I
No.
know I'm one of those that's like constant,
I love your posts. I look forward to them.
I get the same. Let me tell you, I post every day myself, not in the groups. I post on my own page, but I get it. And thank you for just being you. So we appreciate that.
Yep.
Oh, thanks for being okay with me.
Of course, we're all equal.
Why wouldn't
there's
we be?
There's no differences here. So we appreciate your time and efforts and willing to speak with us.
Yeah, you're a little fireball of energy, man. I love seeing your videos.
Absolutely. Especially with your son.
Oh,
yes, absolutely.
He definitely keeps my heart rate up. I don't need a heart rate monitor to tell me that.
Well, guys, that's going to be it for tonight. So next Monday is July 1st, 7 p.m. Eastern with Chase and Vance.
So,
and anything else anyone wants to say in closing?
Any final thoughts?
Just my usual. I'll see you next time. Until then, I've got work to do.
Adam?
I appreciate, again, being on here. I appreciate her time talking and helping a lot of people, and we will catch you down the road.
Kristin, you got anything you want to leave us off with? Oh man, I feel like I've talked y'all's ears off, but I'm so appreciated to be here, and y'all are awesome, and thank you so much for doing this.
I do have a quote if you want me to leave off with a quote.
Yeah, let's leave off with a quote.
Yeah. Okay. Never underestimate the ultimate power you give yourself by believing in you.
There you go.
There you go.
Absolutely. I already knew that one. I tell myself that one every day.
By WWF Hall of Famer Diamond Dallas Page himself.
All right. Well, on that note, Diamond Cutters.
Yes, on that.
Diamond Cutters.
There you go. Diamond Cutters.
We'll see you guys. We'll see everybody next week.
Catch you down the road.
Catch you.
Bye, everybody.